Hello, I'm James Turk. I'm a director of the Gold Money Foundation, and it's my pleasure to be here today with Peter Beringer, who's one of the co-founders of DEG. DEG is sponsoring this wonderful conference here in Munich with the Gold Money Foundation. We brought Bill Murphy over from Dallas. We're going to be talking about gold, silver, price of gold, the manipulation, and just some basic educational information, why gold and silver are money. Peter, it's a real pleasure to be here with you today, and I'd like to start off by talking a little bit about DEG, how you and your friend co-founded it, and if you give us a little bit of history, what your aims are and how it came to be.
Well, James, it's my pleasure too. It's always good to speak to you. DEG is for Deutsche Edelmetallgesellschaft, German Precious Metal Association. We founded ourselves in 2006, more than 5 years ago. But actually the two founders, David Reimer and myself, had been active in the scene, in the gold scene and sound money scene, quite a few more years than that, influenced by yourself, I might add. David, as the initiator, had been the chief moderator for the Goldzeiten Forum, which is the main chat room, which at the time was the most influential and I think the only chat room in the gold bug scene, hosted on the goldzeiten.de main gold page of Germany. And I myself was an author there and already a gold bug too. And in 2006 we two teamed up and really decided it's really time to go offline too and not only discuss things online. We basically only convince ourselves in the internet, and at the time it was an extremely small community, as you know very well. Things have changed a lot since then, but at the time it was a very small group and gold was not the talk of the day, nor was silver. And this is when we decided to have this offline platform. In our founding statements we have two main objectives. Inform people and educate people on gold as an investment, as a hedge against inflation. That's the individual level. You could say it's the investment management level, but of course we were and still are different than the mainstream financial advisors at the time, because we really restricted ourselves to this exotic topic of gold. And the other level we were informing and educating people was the more generic level, because we both were and are convinced that nations shouldn't have any unbacked currencies as money, which means, as we all know, the dollar was decoupled from gold in 1971, and with the dollar, all other currencies of the world. This is the first time in world history that this has happened. There have been paper experiments, of course, before 1971. They all failed, but they all failed on a regional or national basis. And they failed on a national basis, and this time we have a worldwide experiment going on for 40 years, and we thought it's really about time to discuss that topic seriously too, which just did not happen a lot up until in the mainstream media. And an implicit target of ours is a gold backing of the currencies, but this is not our main objective, and I think we shouldn't impose this upon any world. It's currently unrealistic anyway. What we should have, and this is the view of the Austrian economists, is competition of currencies, and I believe that gold will be a serious competitor, but we would never demand from anybody or from the politicians to really, with their legal power, constitutional power, back gold as the only monopoly currency. What we need is competition, and there is room for paper money too. I think maybe we can go into that a little bit deeper.
Okay, so basically the mission of DEG is to provide educational material about money and currency. Let them pick and choose which is the money or currency that they basically feel best for their own particular circumstances. Not necessarily to force any political change, but very, very free market oriented. Let currencies compete on their own strengths and weaknesses.
Yes, absolutely. As I said, there's no point in enforcing it legally. Gold has never needed a monopoly legalized backing from from whatever authority there is out there. It has been natural money in many different cultures throughout times in history. Even independently in various cultures, gold and silver have become money, and usually the main money of choice that people choose freely. And this is true even though since the 19th century, or actually since the Roman times or even earlier, the sovereigns, the monarchs at the time, had their faces coined on their coins, but it was never really necessary. And it's really a development of the 20th century, talk about 1913 when the Fed was founded and institutionalized, and when paper money became into existence and got monopolized at the time in the US, and then 1971 when the same happened all over the world. We live in that experiment, and well, there's no point in backing gold with legal laws. We all need free and fair competition, which we currently do not have. We have legal tender laws, and even though we don't have it explicitly in our founding statements, implicitly we demand basically legal tender laws to be abolished.